Okay, so let us do the next part, that is upper and lower bound. Okay, so I'll just first write the definition. Let A is subset of R, real number, B non-empty set. Okay, we say that a real number alpha is an upper bound of A if for each x in A, for each x belonging to A, we have x is less than equal to alpha. Okay, so if I say graphically, that means uh, there is your element alpha, and all the elements of your set A are lying here somewhere. It may be alpha, may be on the boundary also. Then what do you see? That is for all x belonging to A, that condition is x is less than equal to alpha. Do you see our original, how we used to write in the logic? This is how we used to write a logical statement. So this will be the definition. For all x in A, the condition is x is less than alpha, less than equal to alpha. Is that okay? Is the definition clear, everyone? Okay, let me ask you one question. Suppose I gave you a set A is open interval 1 comma 2. Can you give me an upper bound? Your set is open interval 1 comma 2. Yeah, 1 comma maybe 5 I should take. What are the upper bound? Yes. Will you repeat? Sorry, actually there was some network issue. I didn't able to get it. Yes. What is the upper bound? Okay, 5 is upper bound. Do you agree, everyone? To check whether it is upper bound, what do you have to check? You have to take any element of A and check whether that element is less than equal to 5, and that is true for in the case of 5. Do you agree? Yeah. Can you give me any other upper bound? Whether 4 is an upper bound? No, if I take the value 4.5, that lie in the set, but 4 is not greater than that 4.5. Do you agree? What do you mean by upper bound? That must be greater than all of the element of the set. Your set is 1 to 5 here. So whether 4 is an upper bound? No. So what are the upper bounds? 5 तो एक हो गया भाई, और कोई upper? So do you see only one upper bound here? What about 6? Whether it is an upper bound? Why? Why? Oh, okay, okay, wait. 5 is also not in the set. Then how can you say 5 is an upper bound? This is an open interval. Do you see that? for the upper bound you just require that alpha must be a real number. Do you see that? There exists a real number alpha and all the element of the set must be less than alpha. Here I'm not saying that that alpha must belong to the set A. Do you agree? Even you give me the example of phi, phi is not included in the set. So that's why if you take any element here that is less than equal to phi, and if I take any value 6 also, 6 is also in upper bound. Why? Because if you take any element of this set, the condition is this only, na? Take any element of the set, that element must be less than equal to alpha. So it is less than. Equal नहीं है तो क्या हुआ? Less than है. Even if you take any 7, any value after this, do you see? Is that clear to you? Just check, just think about this bracket, what this is saying. Take any element of A, that element must be less than alpha. So if your interval is 1 to 5, I can say 10 is an upper bound. Why? Because if I take any element of this set, that is less than equal to 10. Do you agree? Yes. Yeah. See, I'm saying, what do you mean by upper bound first? What do you mean by alpha is an upper bound? Do you understand the definition first? That means if I'm having a set here 1 to 5, correct? What are the element of set? All the real number except the endpoints. Do you agree? Okay. So I need to find one more real number which is greater than each element of the set. I need to have one more real number which is greater than each element of the set. So I can take any value on the right hand side of this side. Do you see? If I take any value, all the values here, they are greater than 1 to 5, except 1 to 5, in between 1 to 5. So these points are upper bound of the set. Seven is an upper bound. What is the condition if you want to check whether it is upper bound or not? You just have to see all the elements of A, whether that is less than equal to 7 or not. Yeah, that is true. Whether 8 is an upper bound, whether 25 is an upper bound. If you take any element of A to A, that is 1 to 5, then the element must be, that alpha must be greater than each element of the set. Correct? Let me give one more example. Suppose if I take A equal to say 0 to 2. So what is the upper bound? Graphically, if you see, that is quite easy. Can you give me an upper bound of this set? 6, 3, 5, anything, even 2 also, correct? Because 2 is not included. If it was included, then also. Correct? Because less than equal to की बात किया है. Do you see? If it was something 0 to 2, then also I can say 2 is also upper bound, 3 is also upper bound, 4 is also 5. Do you see? Everybody after 2, they are upper bound for the set. Yes? Perfect, very nice. Now if I say alpha is not an upper bound, that means what? Can you just negate this statement? Alpha is not an upper bound, that means negation of this statement. What will be the negation? I'll just write here. For all x in A, the condition is x is less than equal to alpha. What is the negation? There exists x belong to A such that x is greater than alpha. Do you agree? Suppose let me take the same example. If I take 0 to 5 and I want to say 4 is not an upper bound, how can I say? Let me just draw it. Drawing is quite easy to understand if you draw the question. Your 0 to 5, where is your 4? This is your 4, correct? You want to say 4 is not an upper bound. That means what? In your interval 0 to 5, you are having some element which are greater than 4. What are those elements? Can you give me some element? Do you see the condition? There exists some element which are greater than 4. If you say 4 is not an upper bound, there are some element. So in the interval 0 to 5, do we have some element which are greater than 4? What are they? Perfect, very nice. 4.5, they belong to the interval 0 to 5, and 4.5 is not less than 4. Is that okay? Do you see the condition? Do you understand upper bound? When you are saying upper bound, that means it should be right hand side of the interval. If you are having, it should be here after the interval, correct? And if you want to say something is not an upper bound, that means you should give at least one element in the interval that is greater than that guy. So I am saying 4 is not an upper bound. That means what? There exists some element here after 4. I took 4.5, 4.8. You can take anything. Is that okay? Yeah, good. So if you draw graphically, then that is quite easy. And one more thing, if I have an upper bound, then anything greater than that will be also an upper bound. That is, if I am saying 5 is an upper bound, then anything after 5, that is also going to be an upper bound. That is quite trivial. That is quite trivial. You can see, if I say 5 is an upper bound, you take any value after that. That is, if you take any value right hand side, that values are also going to be an upper bound. Is that okay? So what do you see? What can you conclude here? Upper bound is not unique. Do you agree? Okay. Similarly, can you define for lower bound? This was of upper bound. Can you similarly define for lower bound? I'm not going to define it. You are going to write it by yourself. At the place of upper bound, you write lower bound. Write everything, same thing. What will be the condition here? X is greater than equal to alpha. Do you agree, everyone? So graphically, what will be the meaning? Let's say for all x belonging to A, what is the condition? Alpha is less than equal to x. Can I say like this? Is that okay? Yes. So this is lower bound. Correct? Do you understand what do you mean by graphically? If I say, so where will my alpha be? Suppose this is my set A here somewhere. So where will my alpha be? Alpha will be somewhere this side. And anything less than that will also be a lower bound. So let me give you an example. Suppose A I put 0 to 5. Give me the lower bound. Oh, whether 4 is a lower bound. Think about it. Think about it. For all x in the set. Yeah, negative values. Very nice. Even 0 is also lower bound. Do you see the value for all? You take any element here, your alpha must be less than that element. Do you see? So if you are saying 4, correct? So you are having so many people inside that are less than 4. Lower bound means what? You should have some boundary here. Your elements of set is here, and your lower bound, that means what? Here is one, you can understand something like a pole, that your set will not cross this line. So what are the lower bounds? What are the lower bounds? 0, -1, -2, and anything negative. Anything less than 0 will be a. हाँ, इधर ओपन इंटरवल है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, लेकिन ओवर, हाँ, इन द सेट 0 इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड, बट वेदर 0 इज एन लोअर बाउंड और नॉट. Yes, it is, because if you take any element of the set, 0 is always less than that. Do you agree? If I give you one more example, suppose 2 to 7. Can you give me a lower bound? One, 1, 0. Whether 2 is a lower bound? You know, yes क्या होता है? Yes or no? Final बोलो. Why? Why? Simple, because 2 is. So whether 2 is satisfying, because they are talking about less than equal to, na. So that means, can I write this for all x in this interval, say 2 to 7, I am having this condition, 2 is less than equal to x. Is this equation true? Is this thing true? Then I can say 2 is my lower bound. Do you agree? Perfect. Very nice. Can you give me any other lower bound? Can you give me any other lower bound? Yeah. So here also, anything less than this lower bound you are having, that is also an lower bound. Do you agree? Anything less than 2 will also be a lower bound. That means graphically अगर बात किया तो मैंने यहाँ पे कोई भी values इधर जाओ तो they all are going to be the lower bound of the set. Do you agree? Perfect. Okay. So whether lower bound is unique? No. You can have infinitely many lower bounds. Perfect. Okay. I'll ask you something. Do you know natural numbers? Whether natural number have any upper bound? Whether natural number has any upper bound? Do you have any element? Do you have a real number such that all the elements of natural number are less than that number? Do you have something? Try to think about it. Suppose you are having natural number, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Correct? And what do you want to claim? What do you think? Whether this have any upper bound? Correct? How can you claim that? How can you say? You actually, it is quite visible, because I cannot put any pole here such that all the natural numbers are lying here. Do you agree? I cannot any pole. I cannot have any pole here, because all the numbers, if I am having that, then something will be here, something will be correct. So I cannot have any pole here. But whether this natural number has any lower bound? What is that? Wait, infinity. Infinity is not a number, first of all. Number means जो natural, हाँ. Whether 1 is a lower bound? Because all the elements of the set, they are greater than equal to 1. Perfect. So 1 is a lower bound. Any number less than 1, that is also going to be a lower bound. That is -1, -2, because that lower bound is a real number, huh? That need not be a natural number. You agree? In the definition I wrote, that should be a real number. Is that okay? Okay. So whenever you are trying to find the lower bound and upper bound, it is better to just draw the graph and think about it. Correct? Let me ask you one more question. Suppose A is 1 to 2 union 3 to 4. Can you give me the lower bound and upper bound? Okay, and lower bound? Nice. Do you understand the trick, everyone, now? Do you understand the trick? Yeah, you just have to draw the thing that is 1, 2, and somewhere here 3 and 4. I don't have to think about this in between numbers. I just have to give some bound, that is just have to give a pole here such that all the elements are lying this side. Do you agree? Lying this side of 1. So 1 is my lower bound, and I just have to give a pole here such that all the elements are not crossing this line. So this guy is an upper bound. So if this is an upper bound, anything after that, that is also an upper bound. If this is the lower bound, anything before that, they are also a lower bound. Do you understand now? Yes. Okay, good. Let us go to the next definition. Oh, do you have any lecture after this lecture? Oh, so you know what I'm going to say now. uh, Good. No, not much, just 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, so let me just define one more. That is, suppose if you are having a set A which is non-empty real number, so I'll write like this. So this set A that is non-empty and that is contained in real number. Do you understand this notation? I'm talking about this set A that is non-empty and that is contained in real number. Is that okay? Yeah. Is said to be bounded above. Bounded above in R if there exists alpha belong to R such that, or which is an upper bound, which is an upper bound, that's it, upper bound of A. Correct? That is, what do you mean by that? That is, you can write the definition of upper bound that way. There exists alpha belong to R such that, yes, for each x belonging to A we have x is less than equal to alpha. Do you agree? When will you see your set is bounded above? When you are having upper bound, that's it. If you write in the mathematical form, that means there must exist an alpha belonging to real numbers such that for all x belonging to A, you are having condition x is less than equal to alpha. Do you agree? So now let us come to the example. Suppose whether a set 0 to 5, whether this is bounded above, that means whether there exists some upper bound of the set. Correct? We don't want, we just want at least one upper bound. Correct? You see, there should have at least one upper bound. That is enough for us. But you already know that if you are having one upper bound, then there are infinitely many upper bound. Actually, after that number, there are infinitely many upper bound. Yes. Now again my question: whether natural number is bounded above? Can you have an upper bound for natural number? just now we talked about ki we cannot have any upper bound, correct? You just try to draw the natural number. If you say something is an upper bound, but you will be having another number after that, which is, so that's why that is natural number is not bounded above. So if is not bounded, sorry, if there does not exist any upper bound, that means it is not bounded above. Do you agree? Correct. Can you tell me the negation of this statement? Yes, what is the negation of the statement? That means if A is not bounded. What is the negation of this statement? You already know. negation को मतलब ये लॉजिकल स्टेटमेंट का negation कैसे करने का? Yes. It is like breaking the first part, then going to the second part, then going to the second